Yes, we're back to do the update. We didn't have the one on Friday. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a really great Thanksgiving. It has been a while. And I thought I'd leave you be to sit with the energy. And I did muck up this week. I was like trying to schedule all the reads, every Friday, every Saturday. It was like, and then I sat there and I went, oh, girl, 5 weeks this month. Hello, McFly. And so we should have had an extra one, but I have scheduled them. We also do have the members out earlier. So the 1st of December, you guys will get week 2. And pretty much I have been creating content both for the website, Astrology, lots and lots of new content coming in the education content that is going to be coming for 2023. So if you think I'm MIA, I'm really in the thick of it getting things done. And definitely we're going to do your channeled messages for this part of the month. Now, I always love to read the members. And guess who popped in as soon as I was about to mention something that was mentioned? Big questions to do with certain channels. I can't answer for them, but I can answer for Twin Flame Path because I am a twin. And it has been extremely challenging, but I am in union. And sometimes when we do get questions, that's always why I love Q&A sessions in the members. And I see themes that are coming up and I try to address them inside the content so that you guys have the most relevant information. Apparently, a lot of Twin Flame channels are mentioning that your real twin's coming. And you bloody know who your real twin is. I think there's a portion in the path where we do get disillusioned because the person isn't doing what we want them to do. And that, again, is attachment. And sometimes it is a 3D circumstance. For the life of us, we're looking at that and we're thinking, gee, why the bloody hell are you doing that for? And there is a lot of work that goes into divine feminines where we are detaching. Sometimes the tag is a benefit because we directly know, hi, sweet, we directly know we're a twin, and then we're like, okay, so what does that mean? Is that a life sentence? What are we looking at here? And we feel sort of initially egotistically maybe confident because it means that we're cursed and we're going to be on the path, and, that means that we have to do the work. And then it jumps to an opposite point where we feel very 3D. And the 3D means that divine feminine is looking at life very practically. And it may be that you've done some shadow work and you've said to yourself, okay, well, I've looked at this and through your personal eyes and your personal experience, because your twin flame path is divinely guided. It has a set of things and triggers that'll come up, and it's to clear you, but it's also because you're an old soul and you've reincarnated and you're doing different things in this lifetime, but you're clearing karmic energy. But you're also becoming the best version of yourself. Not that you feel like it at the time. You kind of feel like you're being dragged through a bush backwards, quite frankly. And any traditional kind of polarities that you have connected to, even those go by the wayside. So when we do have very fixed beliefs, especially when it does come to spirituality, the further into your ascension you get, you're very much an observer of all things. And so even the most what could you say, toxic situations that you can look at, you're very disconcerting and you're just really observing it. You're probably in less judgment because you understand that it's, everything in life is a process. And so it's like you're becoming a spiritual guru, but you go through a chain of very unfortunate events, and you do look at your friends and your family very differently after the fact. So what can I say about your real twin coming back? You know who your twin is. Your twin is not perfect. Your twin is generally not the easiest path. Doesn't mean you can choose a soulmate. 100% you can. But what I came to find in my ascension path was it didn't matter where I went because you'd channel everyone's energy. So inevitably it would be that you had to do the shadow work because you'd be picking up on collective consciousness, on Joe Blog next door, on your twin, the karmics would enter your dream state. So it was coming from everywhere. And it's because this bombardment, it's a very heavy dark night of the soul, so to speak, but you're super susceptible to energy. And then we do get into a notion at times where we think, okay, I've met someone who's exactly like me. Don't ever ask universe to give you that. I did that, and it really kicked my ass, because it was like, okay, we'll give you a holiday for a bit. We're going to give you somebody who is, you know, all that glistens as gold, but you evolve each time. You really do. So what I can say is, if you feel particularly being with a particular person separate to twin is going to be safe, what we do need to understand is anybody can hurt us. And it's not to say you can't choose to go into a soulmate energy, but sometimes there is, you know, you really got to be careful what channels you go to, and really go to twin flame channels, people that have actually gone through the path, people that have done shadow work and that know what you guys are going through, because it's a very interesting circumstance. It's not your cookie cutter relationship. It's not a soulmate energy. And there does need to be, the further into your ascension you get, you really do need to clear those things. And you will directly find that yourself. It's like, no matter what you do, you're kind of stumbling, and it's because the universe will keep giving you a chain of events till you pass the test. And then you're open. Some twin flames at the moment, especially because Juno is direct, and we have all this Pisces energy, Neptune goes direct. That was where the karmic test was for the twin flames this year. And Pisces is a very spiritual energy. Jupiter is moving direct at the moment. So for divine masculine, they link to both Jupiter and Mars. And so their frequency is moving ahead. So what does that look like? Mirror back to where you were in your life, where you were looking at it and going, you know, it's a little bit like, what's that lady's name? I've got to think of her name now. She's a singer. And she talks about... she knew this person was trouble when she walked in. What's her name? I've forgotten. It's just escaped me. I've forgotten her name. She's friends with Selena Gomez. You know who I'm talking about. It'll come to me. It's right there. Anyway, hit me with it. So the factor is, when you meet this person, it's a soul recognition, bit of serendipity. Sometimes you may not even like the person. It might be, this person really irritates the crap out of me. So it doesn't have to be this thing that when you meet this person, it's like, oh, gorgeous rainbows. No, sometimes they can actually really irritate you, but there's something quite intriguing about them. There's something very polar opposite, Paula Abdul, you know, opposites attract. Taylor Swift, that's it. Thanks, Star. So, you know, it's trouble because you know that you would do anything for this person. And there are particular people that we do meet in our life and we think, gee, we go hell and high water. What it did teach us is where we shouldn't go, how far to go, how much to give, how much to enable, where we are enabling, where we're triggered and we feel they need to be something for us, or we need to be something for them. And so there is this half cup full notion through the awakening. So, yes, I'm not surprised that there's lots of conversations to do with your true twin coming through. What I do see for particular twins, communication is going to start coming in. Jupiter moved direct. You're also going to have series of things we go through each month as we're moving towards that. Generally speaking, to do with the transits, because I use the transits for my ascension. That's why I give it to you guys, because it's what worked for me. And it does give us key point time. So at the moment with Jupiter direct, yes, movement is happening. But the big conundrum is, big thing in first wave is, we were here to break down the traditional paradigms, hi giggle, of connection. So if you're a first waver, all those videos will come next year. First wave, second wave, third wave. First wavers were there to break down the traditional connection. So you might have got yourself in a pickle in your twin flame path. You might, how could it look? You could have got with somebody that was married. You could have got with somebody who was the opposite sides of the track. You could have got with somebody that was really non-traditional, but you were super traditional. And it took you out of your league and you just went, well, wow, I didn't believe I would go, you know, that route. I was a very traditional human being. This is the way I viewed things. So the problem is with Sagittarius, suddenly had this frequency a couple of weeks ago. I was picking up on it earlier, obviously, because I channel, and it was like very liberating, very bouncy, and a bit tongue-in-cheek sort of thing that was coming through for the divine feminines. And it was a huge manifestation portal, but how it can look is you may want to just stuff around. Hi, sweet, you and me need to talk soon. I channel the energy, Elizabeth. Have this instinctual feeling. So what it can look like at the moment is divine masculine is knowing they need to move forward and there's a new chapter coming. But there's also the old prejudices of traditions. It's like, okay, we could be in a karmic relationship and it's like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Have you ever been in a connection and you say to yourself, right, I'll leave after Christmas, I'll leave after New Year, I'll leave after a birthday, and there's always this kind of goalpost. Sagittarius is religion. It's play, it's Jupiter, it's the full card in tarot theoretically, because it jumps in and it moves forward. And so for masculines, it's great that is going direct. They can tap into pacifiers at the moment. So if you find that your twin is drinking a bit more, up in their head a little bit more, depending on the zodiac sign, it's temporary, but it's a bit like the divine feminine cleaning and getting agitated. Divine masculine goes into it in a meditated state. Sometimes they speak out loud, but don't take everything they say as personal. It's a guided meditation of a process into where they are going, but direct, nevertheless, they are moving. The other problem we do have, which is going to benefit divine masculines and divine feminines, is that Mars is retrograde in Gemini. So it can be changes happening with our thought processes, with our daily routines, with our family and home, especially from the ruin cast that's come through. It can be this push-pull between I'm moving forward, but I've got all this stuff going on. How do I balance all these balls in there and how do I move forward? But again, lots of clearing of shadow work for divine masculines. I think most of them are handling it, especially from the card I'm seeing here. Divine feminine is struggling with belief systems. Now, that can be insecurities coming up. It may be, and your instincts are always going to tell you. Instincts are very separate. Hi, Ben. How you doing, Dove? Instincts are very separate to paranoia or PTSD due to other experiences that you've had with your twin. So you guys are coming through this week with believe. And it's quite funny because the reversal card that masculine came through actually was quite a compliment because they're not giving up on you. And they can be very stubborn at the moment. So don't take it personal if they're being stubborn. It's sometimes pride cometh before a fall, and it doesn't mean it's something negative. They're sitting on it. They're mulling on it. But there is also this feeling that they're going to make things happen, that they're very determined. And if it means they're going to move hell and high water, they're going to do that. But they also feel that way towards you. They're not going to let you go. And they think you're stupid if you think they're going to let you go. But that's on you. So the belief energy and the some of you are really in this detachment, which is very healthy. So if those of you, be it you're in communication, no communication, in union, there is a revisiting of belief inside yourself, traditions, self-worth, belief in self. And it's very spiritual, it's away from the ego. So if you are constantly looking at one angle in the mirror and you know that something's happened before, you're revisiting it so that you can purge it and it doesn't define you anymore. Had a very interesting thing come up this morning with twin. And I laughed because had this been years ago, I would have gone into a tit. I would have been very triggered. And I just knew it wasn't true. So it really didn't faze me. It was water off a duck's back. And that's why we view these things, is so that when they come up, you're very detached. You're like, if you want to be here, you be here. If you don't, you don't. Because you've filled your cup. And that's why we do the work we are doing. At the moment, there can be some shadow work that divine feminine is working through. I'm reviewing in these circumstances, and there's healing happening in the yin and yang connection. I do feel both parties might be hitting a little bit of a stumbling block in some old triggers, some old beliefs, and you're clearing. You're trying to get into harmony of the masculine and the feminine at the moment within yourselves. That can be your inner emotions versus your direct reactivity. It's like, okay, I need to do the Mars energy. I need to get in and get things done. Maybe things are going to take a bit of time. Am I reacting to this? Mars, and this is a hard week. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. There are some challenges this week astrologically, and it's going to come up in your ascension process. So you could be irritable, bratty, snappy. I've been very snappy. But I have the, maybe the stage I'm in, I have the, what do we call it? Personal awareness of why, okay? Because I listen to myself. And I think if you can sit with yourself when it's coming up, then you can articulate to the person or be in your personal awareness, you will navigate that circumstance better. Whereas if it was just an emotional kind of frequency you're coming with, masculines, when I say masculines are simple, it's a little bit like Spock on Star Trek. Where are we going? It's taking, you make the most rational decisions when you don't have the override of emotion in it. I mean, we call it hangry. Do you go to the shops hungry? If you do, studies have shown you will buy more. So when you're hangry, you're not going to make rational sense. Whereas divine masculine is listening to, okay, what do you need from me? What do I need to do? But when they get these mixed signals, sometimes we need to articulate, I feel versus I need you to do. And that needs to come through in your aura too, because you guys are connected on the 4D and the 3D. So when you are psychologically thinking on things, what happens is in the 3D, it physically blocks it. So if you're problem solving for them, for instance, or you're feeling this push-pull dynamic between we're going forward, we're going backwards, it is directly joint in the connection. So stagnancy occurs while you're trying to meditate on that circumstance. I hope that makes sense. But spiritually, there is a healing between the both of you. If you've done your shadow work, it's moving forward. Can old things come back? 100%. 100%. Even those of us that are in union, those things come up. We're better equipped with it because we're super aware of the fact that we're either triggered. Elizabeth, you can contest to this. You're in union. It's getting triggered or looking at something and it's going, wow, okay, that's interesting. That's come up. Healthy boundaries with individuals, cutting people out. The only time you really will get to a point where you cut people out is when they don't take no for an answer and they're getting really pushy. And it's generally because you're looking at it going, look, this isn't vibing. And you still can do it from a healthy boundary point, but divine masculines are learning a lot about the word no. And that's towards people that are needing on them. It's also a lot of closure relating to family with Sagittarius there. And what their role is in this world, especially with Mars retrograde. So there's these old cliches coming up at the moment, is that if you loved me, you would do this. And that's attachment. That's like, it's literally, we do really need to look at love as a very separate energy to a pay pack, a very separate energy to, well, if you have something else to do, that means you don't love me. That's inner child. So attachment and really painting it in your own eyes, that's your viewpoint, but it doesn't mean they're being raised that way. And it doesn't mean they don't love you. There can be, at a level, 3D circumstances that are going on. It could be a situation with karmic, and that's clearing an old cycle. Inevitably, it's going to end. And if that trigger's coming up for you, you need to say to yourself, if you know damn straight that that person is actually going to transcend and they're not going to be here, what actually is the issue? Where is that coming up in you for you to be looking at life? So however it's playing out, but regardless, a lot of us might be working through shadow work. A lot of us could be avoiding it at the moment, but it's coming up in reverse. So there could be, we're going to channel the messages and we're going to see what's coming through. So what I do see at the moment is divine masculines aren't surrendering, and we're going to dig deeper into what it is. There is a challenge at the moment relating to the personal relationship with ourselves and personal relationships from the past. So what we're not letting go of maybe is the fear that somebody is going to come between us. What we're not letting go of is the fact that we have the confidence to be who we are and love ourselves for who we are. We're having a challenge to move forward and to walk through that portal. But the question could be, because I was really picking union energy, is the fact that for some of you, it could be that you're feeling they're never going to come, but really deep down you're thinking, shit, if they do turn up, how would I actually be with that? Do I have the confidence to move forward? Do I actually feel that I can feel safe in this circumstance. And, especially with my coaching, which is really beneficial for you depending on where you are. So, questions and super chats are great. But definitely when you're hitting a stumbling block, the best thing I can suggest is a coaching session. And that can link to where you are, where the blockage is in your belief, because it is a lot to do with manifestation and clearing, because it's like you're a psychic energy. And while we have that, we literally manifest some of these problems into our twin flame path. And then we're coming up with these challenges because it's embedded in our chakra system. So the more you realize what is coming up and hear it from another person, you can actually go away and go, okay, I really need to sit with that. And by clearing it, you actually can find movement. I know Angela this week, Trueheart, had it where it was within a day max, and it was movement within her connection. So, moving forward, big shout out to her. She's doing a lot of hard work on it. I said I was going to give awards to, patrons on YouTube at the moment. So there's a challenge at the moment spiritually for us to move through the door. And so I feel it's almost like we're in the waiting room. We're ready to move through a portal. And there's this attachment, there's this fear-based frequency that something else is going to go wrong with the crystal, and especially with the confidence. And it's like, do I see everything? Is there something that's hidden? If there is, it's like, come hang out with me. Come have a pina colada. I used to say that before. It was like, if something's out of your control and it was to happen, you've given an opportunity. You're attempting to be the best version of yourself. Shadow work is it can be also with your families and situations coming up. Oh, but my family doesn't like them. Oh, well, that's their issue. Let them solve their relationship. Detach. Give it to Gaia. And so whatever that is, trust, and let go. So the ruin cast is in reverse. Makes sense. Something's not being let go of. And this can be on either side, but we'll have a look. Okay. This relates to 21-3 duality. Moon, family, inner child, moon, water, emotions, embedded emotions, mundane, journey across water. So you're moving into the dark waters, right? Journey across water, imagination, intuition, artistic creativity, fluidity, esoteric meaning. Soul journey, psychic powers, initiator of dreams in reverse, fears of change and procrastination in the joint connection. Funny because the Mercury card came up for divine feminines. It's like, now this is either you're feeling things aren't moving, or you don't quite know what to say, or that somehow it's stagnancy. It's like, do I say something, do I not? Is communication going to come in? Because communication isn't, you get my gist. This can be a challenging ruin, indicating a strong test of resolve with no quick solution. Okay, remember, you're 5D. Solutions can come when you detach, but when you're attached, you're stuck in a loop. Okay? Stuck in a loop. On the esoteric level, the cast of the ruin may indicate that the quadrant is about to experience a journey of the soul. Well, Sagittarius is there, which is Jupiter. It's pushing you to move beyond. This may involve the emergence into darkness of the deep waters. Pain and struggles may precede the soul re-emerging. It is the hero's journey, okay? So if you're doing shadow work at the moment and it's coming up and you're struggling, usually universe will tell you if you are in alignment, because things will flow. When you're not, you're having a bunch of very unfortunate events playing out because there's an attachment there and because there's emotions and you feel like you're stubbing a toe 24/7. Disappointments and failures, fear of commitment, fear of change. Okay, so frequency-wise, both parties here in the mix are freaking out a bit. I'll just be straight with you. Now, can there be some dramas happening in the karmic cycle? Yes, there could be. But it's always there to divinely guide us and to help us get over our shit. It's like, do we feel somebody can take from us what is truly ours? No, they can't, okay? Because they're probably going to borrow it like a library book, but inevitably, if they've used manipulation in order to get it, it's always going to wear off. That's black magic as well. Now, as to shadow work, psychic attacks, and things to that degree, this came up again. I had some candid conversations with some spiritual friends of mine and some patrons. There are certain time frames where you will have more psychic attacks. Jupiter is in Pisces, okay? It's going to move back into Aries. Jupiter's in Pisces. It's very 12th house. Yes, psychic attacks can happen. It's direct, but Neptune's still retrograde until next month, I believe. I've got to check the date. Certain cultures do have certain tools to provide you with clearing, okay? Now, I remember years ago, my daughter had this circumstance where she was seeing this particular entity, okay? And I had to, always being a psychic medium, I have directly looked at cultural energies, and they all span over inequality with that. But there's also mythology and certain, what could I call it? Certain terms for, psychic attacks and how they can eventuate. And there's certain tools you can use. Never shade away from something, because religion in the mix technically has nothing to do with some of these psychic attacks, because it won't matter where a meditation comes from, what the subject matter is, because it doesn't discriminate, so to speak. It's like, if it's going to happen and there's an attachment there, it's going to come and affect you. What you can do is drink fluid. You can smudge your head. You can use certain tools. Now, there are certain curses in certain cultures. There's certain dark energies in certain cultures. And so this one thing that I was researching, she described what it looked like. And obviously, being a psychic medium, I can actually channel energy. So I could envision it in my mind. It actually came from a different culture altogether. And I can't remember the name of it, but it was a little bit like the ring. That's what it looked like. And so when you research these things, you actually can physically remove it, but there's key ways to actually remove those things. So what I'm trying to say is, don't feel you're immune to psychic attacks. They'll never be permanent, but the lower your frequency is, the more depressed and aggressive and angry, what can happen is, if you've been tuning into the karmic, you can accidentally channel their energy and start exhibiting their frequency. There you go, Asia. Yes. So psychic energy really, was deemed as a curse. So it wasn't, what could I say? It wasn't like, oh, it's a gift. No, it's a curse. It's handed down. And so the holder of that gift has to do correct by it. Because there's a lot of dark energy that can come in. So they regularly have to upgrade, look after their aura clear. So a lot of you guys are going through this, and it's the way in which you look after your aura. If your frequency has shifted in the last week and it's become very negative, think about who you've been tuning into. Are you channeling that person? Is that person sick? Is that person... are they toxic? Are they unwell? If you're thinking and you're feeling negative, A, it could be your direct trigger, or B, it could be you've embodied their frequency and you need to cleanse. Okay, so that can be drinking fluids. It can be doing a detox. It can be looking at your shadow work of maybe jealousy, insecurity, and rid it of yourself and move it back to the heart space of love. Because it's going to block your path moving forward by fixating on it so much. It's also keeping that whole situation relevant. Because by feeding it, you're actually feeding it. By feeding it, you're actually feeding a demon. So you need to take the power back away. You need to clear it. And if you are looking at karmic videos, always after, if it's like you've been digesting cake all week. And if you're having too much carbs, then you can't go to the toilet, or, you start getting clogged. So you need to flush. So it can be showers, clearing your home. And you can use any meditation. But if you find a meditation and it works, bloody use it, I'm telling you. Because some of these dark energies come from different cultures. And if you don't use their particular ones, it ain't going nowhere and you're stuck with it. So I'm always open to any meditation. My guides will tell me what feels right. And you should always do that. You should always sort of think, okay, does this feel right? So we have protect yourself at the moment, both of you. If you directly are tuning into your counterpart, can you actually protect them? Yes, but you need to be of an ascended space. A lot of channels will actually say send love and light, but that's actually signaling that you don't believe they can handle what they're going through. And so then I would always say, well, is that ego? And do you feel you can handle what you're doing? So I would have to say to myself when I become disillusioned or thinking maybe they couldn't do it or something was going to go pear-shaped, I was like, well, do you think you're better than them? And I was like, no, okay, I'm not perfect. I struggle. So if I can do it, they can do it. And I would just breathe in, blow that frequency out and get to that place. It is really, because it's an attachment we're embodying. But where does any manifestation come from? Dark energy, light energy, all from the same space, us, because you're feeding it. Detach and detox. Lots of fluid at the moment. You may eat spicy food at the moment with the ascension process. Spiritually, there's a portal you're moving through, but you need to prepare yourself. You could get anxious like you're on a ride and you're moving into it because there's stagnancy, because what is going on in the 5D through your channeled energy, divine masculines are getting the signal you don't trust, you don't have faith in yourself, that you maybe are feeling that the path forward is not. Some of you, though, I feel they're making wise decisions, and that's the higher octane. So I feel there is, right, they're not quitting, they're not quitting on you, they haven't given up on you, they maybe have discussed things with you, and so they understand the status quo of where it stands, and they're like, okay, I'm going away, I'm sitting with it, I'm going to take direct accountability. What do I need to do with this? How do I address this? And they're wanting to heal this. So it could be that you're taking that frequency and sitting like a sitting duck, and you're like, okay, I'm not going to be reactive, but both of you are not being reactive at the moment, providing you're not projecting to each other. If you're projecting towards each other, usually your twin will show you your shadow, and that can go both ways. I'm just saying. It's always darkest before the dawn, I'm telling you. Okay, both of you are maybe critiquing each other, right? Both of you have your own values. Both of you are your individual as well as the joint soul. Okay, now, I'm getting that one party in the mix here. For some of you, it can be both parties are working very hard. For some of you, it can be your purpose is coming back. But you're wanting to know exactly where this is going, okay? All work, no play makes for a dull day. There might be an ushering in of balance and harmony. There is this notion that maybe somebody is all work and no play, and I feel, you know, for some it can be divine masculine. For some it's joint, it's both parties. Yeah, it's masculine, there you go. But there's a circumstance coming up. It's like, okay, where do you see this going? Some of you might have had a discussion and it's like, okay, I thought we were on like Donkey Kong. Now we're at the status quo. Where do we stand now? There is a commitment here, but some of you are looking at it like this person is not committed to you. This person is very goal-orientated at the moment, trying to get their foundation back. Are they jealous? Yes. Okay, they do have insecurities. And when you fuss over them, they're actually, the reason why they react so differently is because they're not used to somebody giving a crap. Let me put it that way. But they're quietly sitting there. Do they want more than friends with you? Yes. This is why for some of you who aren't in communication or union, they do want more. Is there a problem with a friend around them? At the moment, for some of you, yes, there could be. For some of them, it might be that they're going to lose a friend. Now, that could be a karmic. You know, for some of them, it could be that there was a partner that turned into a friend and it was like, you know, this person is transcending over. Some of them, it can be a family member. There's some loss here. Some of you might have already gone through it, but there could be insecurities relating to that. They have lost a lot. As we all do in our twin flame path, there is these portals we go through and it's almost like a whole universe is torn away from us. So there is this despair. They do go a bit crazy directly, you know, relating to you. when they're thinking about you, they kind of feel silly. It's like that. It's right on the tip of their tongue. They want to be expressing to you, but it could be a circumstance that's playing out right now that prematurely, if they say something, they feel it's going to be quite cursed, but they're really wanting to express directly how much they really care about you, and it is causing despair. I do feel for those of you that have been having issues with your twin, be it you're in union or not, there is this notion that they do tend to worry quite a bit about, are you okay? Are you going to leave them? Is somebody going to affect the connection? They have been worried about that for quite a while. Okay, both parties here are looking at it like, okay, what movie did I watch this weekend? And it was so classic. It was a Christmas movie. And I feel this is quite synchronistic to the twin flame path at the moment. It's like this woman was adopted out. I've forgotten the name of the movie. I'll have to find out and I'll write it in the chat. And, the guy that she ends up meeting went through the same thing. So, cut a long story short, both parties here really wanted somebody they could directly depend on, or they just weren't going to bother with relationships. And I think both of you, due to karmics in the past, you're kind of looking at it going, am I really, up for having a connection? After all this crap, can I actually venture into this connection without getting insecure? Sometimes actually venturing into situations like this help us face that shadow so it never defines us again. I know for me, that's really how it's played out. And because all the things that I did get scared of in my life with soulmates, twin flame, whomever, by facing that, I'm very whole in myself right now. So it does not tend to define me the way it used to. It doesn't mean I don't have work to do, but it does mean I view things very differently. So it ends up serving a purpose. I feel as though for some of you, there could be a karmic cycle that is rolling out at the moment. Now, whomever this energy is it a friend? Is it an ex? Is it a parent figure? There is a karmic cycle of the past that's cycling out. And some of you are feeling, because they have maybe had their own personal PTSD, or because they're looking unhappy and they're eating shit, you're thinking they're just going to take ages. How do I look at this? This is going to take ages. I always say, if that's how you see it, go live your life in bliss and lead by example. Because if theirs is all lower frequency and toxic and they're coming to you and they're purging it out and saying, I'm a victim, basically, this is what I have to do. By you living a high vibe life, anytime they say something to you, you are saying to them, well, what are you going to do with that? How does that make you feel? A, you're listening. B, you're protecting yourself. C, you're leading by example. And that's attractive, because a twin, knowing what they want out of their life and only choosing the best, knowing that we do have stumble blocks, we all do, that's more attractive. So when they come towards you, they're like, wow, this person's owning their power. They're living in bliss. Why wouldn't I want to do that? Why wouldn't I want to be living my life like that? You're the trigger to them, and it will trigger them, trust me. But it also motivates them to follow their own personal truth. There is a false start, okay? There's a feeling in the heart that something came between you. There's a feeling that this circumstance is taking a little bit longer. Some of you, it could just simply be that this person's recovering after a breakup. However this directly relates, feel free to book a private reading. We've got a sale on at the moment for December and January. It's only up for a little bit. Is there regrets? Yes. Could there be somebody that is unwell here? Yes, there can be. Could it be that they're recovering over this circumstance? Yes, I do feel so. For those of you that had communication, there could be a cross wire that went down and they feel regretful. They don't want to upset you. They are worried that maybe you'll move forward and you'll end up with somebody else. Yeah, look at this. That's not a happy masculine. They are. I just heard empathy. I don't know what that's about. That's what my God said. Empathy. There is they don't want to hurt you. There's no intention here to hurt you. Okay, there appears to be a road. Something that was blocked in their path is coming back to bless them. I also feel they're being very selective about who they're telling, especially if they've got a really complicated situation. This directly is a situation where they're so bloody worried because they can't hide their feelings at the moment. So they might be in hermit mode a little bit, but they do feel that something is getting out through the grapevine how much they really care about you. Now, if this is a karmic, it's almost like they can't rid it from their face, and then inevitably this is going to end up in a separation. But I'm also seeing that they need to cross the T's and dot the I's with this one circumstance. There's going to be some sort of contract that could directly be relating to finances, inheritances, separations. But it feels as though this is money related, but they're keeping their cards close to their chest. But they have to do something for some reason. But there is a question mark. For some of them, it could be that they're changing jobs. But ultimately, the full value they see is with you. The full value and what they want it all with you, but they need to get their bearings at the moment. They don't want to fight with you. At the moment, there has been this push-pull. I do feel those of you that had communication, they're sitting with that. And they know that what you're saying is correct. I'm hearing the term sooks for some. It may be that there were some hurt feelings in this circumstance. Yeah, they're moving beyond it. Okay. Oh, that's a very close statement. Okay. Those of you that know of a karmic they're just making reference to, they absolutely know a karmic is not going to work in this circumstance. How could that look? That could be shared care. That could be, we're sharing care with our kids. We're just friends. Whatever that is, they're showing me that how things once were, they can never go back to the way they were before. Some of them are really already well and truly out of it. And it does feel as though they're getting to a space where, those old chapters, those old karmic frequencies, they're really not wanting to go back to that way of living. It's not who they are anymore. But I do get this feeling that, moving through this portal of emotions is what's going to free them. But it's facing their, these shadow things, be it we want to or not, we're having to face them. We're having to face it with courage. And this could be saying goodbye to people, even if we're not psychologically ready. And it's also coming to terms with old chapters that we had in our life. But I feel these big goodbyes. Now, I don't feel they want to leave you. I don't feel that they are at that space that they're willing to let go. But they do know, both of you do know that some sort of frequency inside this connection at the moment is really needing to shift because it's caused stagnancy. For some of you, I do feel a gin removal is required. They don't know what to say to you, but they do know what you want, but they don't know what to say to you. So they're sitting with whatever has been discussed, needed, desired. One last card, please. Very clear that they feel that, moving into 2023, they're not taking this baggage with them. And that could be through a circumstance directly shifting or knowing that something in this whole connection now has shifted. That's potentially why I was picking union energy. It's almost like we're at that gate, we're at that door, there's a decision. We're doing the shadow work relating to it, especially if we have attachment around Christmas and New Year. So funny. Twin has been saying all week to my nephew, if you're not good, you'll get a bag of coal, as a joke. And we just got medicine bag. It's like, there are benefits. Sometimes we can feel through transformation and the inner work. We feel there's no benefit. We feel we've done all of this and we're not going to get our twin flame union. We do get twin flame union, but it's hard moving through that. It's really hard moving through that. Connecting to your bliss. There's a lot of chemistry between the both of you. But for some of you, it could be that there's something that wants to come off their chest. And I was really picking this week, that they're wanting to express something to you and be completely honest, but they're trying to get the courage to be open with you. They know the resume of what you're wanting. And they do know, for those of you who have discussed a particular subject matter, they're making reference to knowing that what you've said is correct. You know what that is. That's a personal reading. Okay, there is a choice. We don't have power over anyone else. So we want, especially because we are manifesting this in, I do feel they do want to move forward, get married. For some of you, there could be an anniversary coming up. They're making a reference to an anniversary. Anyone got an anniversary in the house? This could be of meeting, or it could be of a birthday. There's some sense of an anniversary. They're wanting to come towards you really super traditional, but you're looking at it like, I don't know, is this super traditional? They're definitely making reference to, after this karmic cycle, if there's another karmic, it's out. There you go, January. Yeah, so I'm seeing they do want marriage, okay? But they're definitely making reference to, it is a choice. We don't own you. But if there was to be another karmic cycle, as far as you're concerned, you would not enable. You'd be, okay, you made your bed, line it. Not doing that, bought the t-shirt, don't like it. Now, I just feel I feel because of what you guys have gone through, and I feel this more relates to first wave. It's not second wave. The second wave is still have energy to move through, but I feel for you guys where you're at, you're sort of like you're going to look at it differently. But what my guides are showing me is that they also know what that resume is, so they kind of know what they'd get with that back there. So I feel there's less likelihood. There is a want and a desire to heal this connection. Yes, there's going to be an honest talk, even if it feels uncomfortable. I do feel a bit of filtered information being coming out, but I also feel that they're challenging that and they're wanting to come towards you in a more transparent way. But for some, there could be a complication involved due to having a karmic in the picture. And they're looking at it going, well, if I do articulate this, I'm actually physically with my foot in the door. But they sort of want a little bit like we wanted years ago, just give me the green light. That's sort of what I see them actually asking for in this context at this point in time. And I feel if they do have that green light, they'll feel more confident to be vulnerable in that frequency and open that communication. And they're also making reference to you should know because of the body language. But yet again, they also know you want the articulation, the direct action, and the words. Okay, we are open for super chats. I hope that helped. We're going to be back again on Friday. We're going to double whammy this week, and we will channel that energy. This energy will move into the first week, but we'll get another touch up and we'll have another check-in at the end of this week. And on the 1st of December, we have week 2 out in the members. We do have a sale on the website at the moment, and that is for a limited time. I'll probably have it up for about 3 days max. So grab your special as you can. The calendar is really filling up for December and January very quick, so get in while you can. Otherwise, it will be emergency readings only. Okay, let me get the cards ready. What else? Subscribe to the website. You get free updates. Freebie updates, free of charge. We also have, for those of you that regularly do get readings with me, we have a subscription for your readings now. So if you want a permanent yearly discount, there is a subscription and you get a booking a month. Go to the subscription page and have a look. It will save you about $40, roughly. Let's see, giggles. How much further It's so funny you mentioned Smurfs. Do you know what I told Twin this week? I said, you like every Smurf, really. You take on every colour. You know, well, I wouldn't say every colour because the Smurfs are one colour, right? But the personality traits, a bit like Twin Flame Path, right? I think it's more the Seven Dwarfs than the Smurfs. Yeah, I said it was the personalities of the Seven Dwarfs. Yes. Oh, thanks, Mary. Okay, Dove. I tell you, your twin still thinking. Definitely, how could I put it? Knows exactly what you're talking about. Very concerned, I would say. Giggle. Very concerned. Really out of sync at the moment. I don't think, Dale, you got anything to worry about. I feel they know, they know they're doomed. if that is the best way to describe it. And I don't, this isn't a negative thing. Being doomed in what context? Well, they're not going in anywhere. Do you get what I'm saying? But you're also not putting the smorgasbord on, with all the trimmings unnecessarily so. And so they know inevitably if they need to eat at a spiritual, physical level, they need to deal with the drama, right? They need to deal with the drama. No drama. They're having concentration issues at work. They're working hard to get their life back on track to where they need to be. They're holding their cards close to their chest, but they're really, really not, feeling super comfortable at this point in time. Lustrous thoughts towards you. Frustrated, very frustrated with the circumstance of how to deal with this. They're going back and forward. They're having moments where they're quite in awe of the fact you love them so much. But then they feel like, why am I blocking this flow of communication when it's everything I want right in front of me? Like they're fighting it. They're kind of feeling idiotic. After what you said to them, I don't know why. Don't be surprised if maybe the tool, the app, the device that you guys communicate on, if it flashes on and off, because I kind of feel they're trying to look at your social media, because the statement, if he could see me, he'd call me such a bitch. I'm not laughing at him, I'm laughing with him, because I've done this myself. It's like, no, I'm right, I'm not ready. And he's paranoid. He's looking at your social media thinking you're moving on to somebody else. He's like, so inevitably, I don't think you've got anything to worry about. I do think he's sitting with it. Is he recovering? Yes, I do feel he is recovering. He's sort of like using work as a therapy session. Working, getting my life together, I'm on mission, it's something I directly can control. But everything you've said, he is actually thinking about. He's looking at his ego. He's private, he's protective of himself at the moment. But he knows that his method is not going to work, and he's freaking out that maybe, Giggle's gone elsewhere. Giggle's a classy lady. She ain't going anywhere, but she ain't taking crumbs. Next. She ain't taking crumbs. Marie. How you doing, Marie? Thanks, Giggle. So we have Marie. So you feel something is happening with your twin. How you doing, Dale? How's your week going? I've been thinking about you during the week. Let's have a look. They feel a bit depressed today. Oh, what's going on with their caper? They feel a bit weepy. I don't know why. Oh, I'll be cleansing myself after this one. Oh, right. That's kind of a miserable kind of, they feel a bit low. Maybe it's the silly season coming up. It's like, yay! Short of a holiday, my sister keeps mentioning, isn't it great? You get to the weekend, it's like 30 seconds. And I was like, we haven't even got there yet. Can you stop? So she kind of sabotaged my weekend, and then I just got into my high vibe again. Let's see what's coming up from her. Oh, God, okay. Dull. I actually feel this person is trying to mull up some ideas of how to get out of Dodge. There's a lot going on. They have learned quite a bit to do with their choices. Really conflicted. I feel they want to reach out to you. They're very traditional. They're coming through really traditional. They value you a lot. They do feel that what they need to actually do. Oh, is that why? Yeah, they feel really emotional. They want to cry. They want movement. They want forward movement. They do miss you. Yeah, they want a fresh start. They really do. Like, they're trying to get everything sorted. Like, they super value you. Don't underestimate that at all. What they are trying to do is they want to bring the balance back. They do want to take things slow. They do want a fresh start with you. If there is any delay in that, don't stress, because I do feel this person is working it out. They have gone through all the cups, yes, but what my guides are showing me is they are working it out. They are thinking about you. They're reminiscent, they're emotional, and I feel if you allow them to come to you, it's what's going to work best, because it's going to make them miss you to actually move in towards you. But I feel they're really thinking about where their direction of life is going, and they do want that fresh direction in life. If they were going to be bad, they'd be bad with you. Let me put it that way. But they're coming through traditional. They're not going to do anything to hurt you. They want to do this correctly, but there is this urgency to actually communicate with you. That's what I have for you today. But they do feel really emotional. They're thinking a lot because I'm getting a headache through their head. Dawn. I hope that helps, Star. Hi, Dawn. How you doing this week? Not talking much. It'll be fine, Dawn. Let him work it out with your family. That's his caper. If he says why, what's going on, just say that was a bit rude. But that's you. Just say, look, that's something to you and them need to work out. Nothing to do with me. Same. With the tribe, say the same. That's between you guys. I'm not that person's mother. And then if they ask, you can say, look, I'm not your dumping ground. Happy to hear, but that's for them to resolve. Let's see. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we got Little Miss. I don't really like to call people names. I can't say that. This could be your guide speaking. Random statement. I've never used that. There was quite a lower frequency term they were using for the karmic. Okay, the term and the reference they're making is that this person's quite controlling. This person's like a hovercraft, very paranoid, very insecure. Nothing's going on. It's all very good and clean. But karmic third party actually feels that you're the danger, right? So it's, where are you? What are you doing? Why aren't you doing X, Y, and Z? The pickle that they're having at the moment is that they've got themselves in a pickle. So they know it's time to let go. They know that the way they had their life before, it's simply not going to work for all people involved at this point in time. Does that grieve them greatly? Yes, it does, because it's something that was keeping the status quo there of both doors open, and no party in the situation now is willing to negotiate. So divine masculine in the mix is feeling that everyone is ganging up on them, even though deep down what it is ushering in is a transformation for this situation, because the stagnancy between the third party energy has gone on long enough. Now, if it was all sweet and good in the hood, there wouldn't be trouble in Little Chinatown, and there is. Your twin flame's very worried about, I'm just going to be honest with you, Dawn, about Birdman. Okay. We have codes because I do coach Dawn. She's also a soul friend and a member. So there is some insecurities here, Dawn. Okay. I also feel that particular energy is coming through. I'm going to be giving you some advice this week. Yeah, you could have been thinking about it quite a bit, but you're like, you don't know how to look at this anymore. You're sort of like, this is irritating me. This really needs to shift. I did say to you, Mars retrograde, it's going to be a pain in the butt. For you particularly, you're going to go from anger to passive, and it's just, you just got to ride it without getting burnt out. Are they thinking about you quite a bit? Yes. Do they have a bee in their bonnet? Yes. There is all of this pressure is happening to actually create a new start. If you end up having people around and suddenly they lob up, don't be surprised. Universe is organizing a chain of events to help this situation be resolved. And that's, it's almost like you particularly were thinking it the other day. It's like suddenly the house is full and it's like, I thought it was going that way. Now I'm going that way. Those things actually happen to create fresh starts. But it's almost like we have a rerun of a program and then we're like, well, I'm quite not liking that as much as I liked before. Hi, Dol. I'm seeing that there's going to be options here, but definitely DM is very bored, right? They're really bored at the moment. And so you're just sitting back going, look, you made your bed, you work it out. If you're not happy, it's time for you to bring the tower down. I'm not causing drama in your life. Your frustrations are. Because you to a degree is stepping back and going, look, I'm trying to work with you. Something needs to change. It needs to end. And so I think directly counterpart is feeling a lot of pressure because I don't feel that happy. All right. And so by them having to shift back into each other instead of you, they can't dump on you and it's going to crumble quicker. Well, he better be... because he's moody. Just say it how it is, Dawn. Just say, look, you're projecting. Blah, blah, blah. Just go really quiet and go, you're projecting. If a person, we can say it calmly. I'm talking to you. If it's rah, 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 I'm talking to you. When you're willing to talk, we can talk. You need to calm down. If it's still showing, okay, I'm going to hang up now, but you can call me when you're calm. We will talk later. This isn't help. And just hang up. Breathe it out. I can't believe you hung up on me. Who have we got next? Stella. Thanks, Giggle. Thank you, moderators. I appreciate you guys. I wouldn't be here without you. I'll be a loco Yildiz. What have I got, Stella? I've been thinking about you too. What are you doing, darling? By January, we should have 2 star signs. I'll be doing the star signs today. So members, get ready. You'll start receiving them in your inbox. We can't get notifications all in one hit, We can only have certain amounts a day. So they'll start coming through to you. And then I will be working on the mid-month for January. I'll be working on January, sorry. And then you guys will get that before the end of this month, December, that is. Stella, what's going on? Oh, okay, you've got a situation with your daughter coming up. There's also a bit of moodiness going on. I do feel counterpart around you at the moment quite a bit. It's all up in your energy, Stella. What is this? What are you having? Visitations? ET phone home? Oh, goodness. There's a whole frequency coming through with this. Yeah, I don't know. Your twin is all up in your energy. They're different. They're really different, right? We've got an ET phone home situation going on here. They're definitely in their empowerment. I don't feel that they're taking as much crap on the home front. They're frustrated, but I feel courageous. I'm getting this on this occasion as courageous. I feel that they're I don't know, you know, when you shed skin and you're like, this doesn't work for me anymore. Very, very different person. I feel they've reached acceptance that a chapter in their life has, like, it is what it is. It's where it was. Everything was in its divine order. I feel the concern that they have is, even though they do trust you, this is really applying to them this week where I feel they're wanting the green light. I feel they know, but they're wanting it just to be sure, because I do feel they're kind of like, maybe I'm second guessing it. Maybe she doesn't have those feelings for me. They feel it's been unfair on you. They have been thinking about you since you left. That's interesting. They're back on the table thinking about a separation. They're making reference to the karmic spending too much. There's something here to do with a circumstance. Look, it could be that they're looking at divorce. I'll just be honest with you, Stella. Like, they're looking at it and going, oh, I want separation. I don't. Are they concerned about finances? If that was to be, yes. There's something going on with the child. This could be some sense of conflict going on with their child, who's obviously older. Yeah, okay, this is to do with inheritances. It's like, what would I leave? I think they're feeling like they've run out of time, but I don't get that as a bad thing. I'm not, channeling your counterpart. Usually what I do get is they are really traditional. You know this. They're very, very traditional. You have traditional energy, but also the awakening has opened your mind. What I do see is they're very at peace with the past way of relating to the karmic. But they're so chalk and cheese right now. It's so separate. It's very, very different in energy and frequency. So I feel they have more acceptance when they're ready to address that. Does that make sense? It feels that they're more at peace with that. But I do feel you may pick up on the weeks coming that there's a bit of heat coming from that location, particularly because I think they're not seeing eye to eye. And I do think they're actually going to be sticking up for themselves a hell of a lot more. They do want to communicate with you, but they're a little bit worried that maybe they're misinterpreting it, but I feel they're going to get over it, Stella. So do we have Ben next? I think we have Ben. Stella, yes, we do. Hi, Ben. So funny. Ages ago, we had these banner things that we'd put up, and the whole sentence was so big I almost couldn't see my head. Now they've gone back to small again. I think there was a bug. Let's have a read. Where am I? Okay, being very... What did you find? Okay, is this... Okay, being very cryptic. Should I raise the item I found? Oh, God. What... I know I need to release it, but considering approaching because it could be painful. I feel you're going to. I feel it could equal a... Are you concerned that it would change your direction? Like, is it painful in a sense that you know a truth, or is it... Have you got information? Okay, so is this about your partner? Yeah, I feel you're going to address it, man. I feel you're going to address it. It's like you're going to try and do it in a logical way. But your concern is, what will the cause and effect be? That's what my guides are showing me. So I don't see you not doing it. I don't see you not articulating a situation. I do see you directly addressing it, but there's some sense of unease of what that outcome will be and what conversations will end up eventuating from that. Does that make sense? Yeah, but your guides are almost pushing you because it's almost like something in you has evolved. So it's about reaching acceptance. You know, in this whole Sagittarius energy, that's really forcing us to take us to our bliss. Is something stuck in stagnation? Is there something we need to do to address these circumstances? And sometimes it's just addressing the elephant in the room. And it's like, it's already there. It's not going away. And so by actually acknowledging the fact that it's not going away and saying, hey, maybe this doesn't vibe with me, can we renegotiate the terms? Because that's how it tends to be in life. And sometimes it's when we're away from a partner, so to speak, or a situation like twin flame path, we're making a judgment based on what is going to be best for us at this point in time. And I feel, you know, it's like for family, you make sacrifices. For love, yes, you do. But there's certain things you just can't. And that's vibrations that prevent you from moving forward in life. So there's something here that is shifting, and you feel in the long-term view, if it doesn't change and it's not addressed, it could potentially cause conflict. You know, you're wanting to reassess what is going on and get to the root cause. So I feel you're going to be addressing it. Does that make sense? Yeah. You're like getting signals that this person is not being transparent, and there's something lingering below the surface. And I feel you want to get to the root cause of that. I do feel the conversation is going to eventuate. I hope that helps. Does that help? Trust your instincts, man. Honestly, trust your instincts with how to address it, with what to say, with how to go about it. Create the environment. Yeah, create the environment. I would, yeah. Okay, my love. I hope that helps. Yeah, you're ready to address it anyway, so. Hi, doll. What's happening with your masculine? They've been thinking about you all week, Erica. When's the last time you guys communicated? They've been up in your energy, girl, all week. They've been looking at the moon. Because I keep looking up and I'm like, why do I keep looking up at that? They're looking up at the moon. That's the other thing. Spirit realm would be pretty thin at the moment, so we're definitely going to be seeing the dead. Let's put it that way. So if you've been seeing things off your peripheral, don't be surprised. Okay, they're feeling confused. They feel confused by what you're wanting. They do have this connection to you, okay? So they have this feeling. They have this feeling at the moment that you are tribe, that you are family, right? And they are coming through quite traditionally. They're feeling as though they're moving forward, then they're moving backwards. And they are a bit frustrated by that. They do want to be that best version of themselves. They do want to be the masculine, and they do care about you equally to your son, right? But they feel that you're not ready. They feel that emotionally there is this push-pull dynamic going on. And so they want to be able to express how they feel towards you. And they actually do want a connection. But they are aware that the damage that was done between you is actually affecting you guys communicating. Because it's getting to a point in their mind where they feel that they have this connection to you, that they have these traditional feelings for you. They do want something traditional with you. But they need to come through in a playful manner to do that. But they also want to be the masculine in this circumstance. But they feel this push-pull dynamic has really, it's been playing out for a bit. They are frustrated with the false starts, and they are tired of this happening. They want to be able to come and see you. They want to be able to communicate with you. They know that there has been dramas between you. I don't know. They're making reference to their family, but it could be interstate, overseas. There's something with that. And I think it's more a meditation. Do I live there? Do I move there? They still look at you as the Empress. They look at you as a very positive energy, for family, for children. They're super proud of you. But they feel emotionally, because of the past, you haven't let some things go. So they feel it makes it very hard for them to move towards you. They know that they have hurt you in the past. They almost feel as though if you were to move on with somebody else, that would hurt them. But they feel that that would be deserving. I don't know why they're saying that, but that's what they're saying. They're worried about you and where you live. They also are making reference to running out of time. I feel that's to do with accommodation, location, could be papers. I feel a conversation eventuating. Okay? I do feel a conversation eventuating, but I think both of you are meditating upon this at the moment. I feel there's a bit of air that needs to be cleared between the both of you. There is an outcome being positive, but it feels that there needs to be some cleared up air here. But definitely there is something to do with their family and travel coming up, nearing Christmas and New Year's. It's like I just keep seeing a question mark, like there's a decision to be made. But I feel they're going to communicate with you before they make that decision. But I do feel it will depend on how you kind of deal with this conflict of what the outcome is going to be at this point. Let's pull another card. I don't see bad luck around you. I actually see luck. I don't get any bad vibes. I don't feel they want to go anywhere. Yeah, like they do want to be happy with you. They are in love with you. But they also... there's just been so many extremes. They want things to calm down between you. They don't want to fight with you. It's like they're bringing olive leaf in. It could be that they're actually feeling that an olive leaf, but he's feeling unless you guys can get to that consistency where you're allowing him to come, where you're, he's asking you for a date, go. He feels he's going to pull back because he feels like he's not. I'm just making reference to his cards. He wants to be the masculine. But he wants to feel that you trust him, that he can be that, so you can allow that flow to happen. He does want you to come with him. So I don't feel, if he chooses to go that way, I feel it's a test. I feel it's a question mark. But yeah, a judgment's going to be made. So it depends on how you play card stuff. Definitely. Okay, let's go on to who else do we have? I'm telling you, there's going to be a fire. I definitely feel it this week. High research clue. I think it's research clue next. We'll do that. Have I got the right person, Giggle? Let me double check. Research clue. Yeah. Your energy with your counterpart is very good. We're having 100 and I think it's about 105 Fahrenheit tonight. Or 100 Fahrenheit. It's going to be extreme for fire. And we're in the bush. So fingers crossed. You have to remind me to get the banner of the question off here. So we do have another live on Friday. Twin flame updates for volume 1 are already out for December in the members. If you want to view them now, jump through and grab them. And volume 2 will be out for week 2 December, will be out in the members hub on the 1st of December. And I'm doing the star signs today. We will be, as we move into 2023, be having additional star signs done. That will become a permanency. And so the members will get their set a week ahead of the crowd. So if you want to join the members to come through. And we'll have another live on Friday. Okay, I really don't think they're getting on very well with the karmic. I don't know why. The last few weeks, I really have not had a feeling that there is a karmic around them. And I don't know whether it's because they're really getting over it and they're just not feeling that vibe. Yeah, it's loud. It was right over the roof. But it feels as though they're going into things very wary. I don't feel they're happy with what they're doing right now. I don't feel they're scared. I don't get that notion at all. I really get this feeling like they're like, right, I'm not doing this. I'm not happy with this person. This person also, if they are in a karmic relationship right now, I don't feel that it's working between them. I feel they're the main breadwinner. I feel the karmic may not be working. But I also feel point blank, the value systems are different and then it's just not seeing eye to eye. They're really unattracted by the karmic relationship. I feel they're around a lot of other people apart from the karmic. The karmic's wanting something super traditional, but they're not offering it. They're trying to be realistic relating to their past. They do feel like you were the realistic choice. Yeah, they feel really stupid. It's like I should have chosen this path. Nothing's really safe in life. It really isn't. Well, Libras will be getting sick at the moment because we have Jupiter direct. And it doesn't have to be we get sick. We're just with Sagittarius, lots of fluid, detoxing. Okay, there's a lot of control in this relationship, research clue. Okay, they want to move forward. They're ready to move the heck out of Dodge. Don't get scared because I don't feel any of the shadow crap that this person uses on your twin is working. If anything, they're digging their grave deeper. They honestly are. It's like I actually think they know that once they walk out that door, it's done. They know. They're already taking steps. They have been thinking about you this week. I wouldn't be surprised if they reach out and have a chat. It's going to become more regular. But I feel they know that is an option that they can come towards you. But I don't feel they're needing saving. I feel they're actually really sitting in it and getting to a space where they reach that complete closure. This person wants to get married and have kids with them, but they're looking at it like, look, there's too many things that just aren't meshing. So I don't see it going further because I just don't feel their energy looking at it that way. Yeah, too much conversations. They're getting signs and synchronicities through storms. Outcome, please. They're moving. Yeah, they don't. The past is getting let go of so that they can get back on their twin flame path. Okay. So yes, this person's trying to block it, but it's cementing the deal even further. Yeah, well, at the moment we're going through the detox till we get Jupiter moving back into Aries, and then we're probably going to be bodybuilding, Libras. But I'll enter your channeled messages into your star signs, and they'll start popping up in the members. Make sure to take the super chat down so I don't leave it on the screen as we're exiting the stage. That's okay. Yes, please, if you can, comment on the video after. And take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the Members Hub and on Friday for the lives. Look after yourselves. We've got sales on the website. Get in before the whole schedule is booked out because it's booking very quickly. Take care. Bye.